Today in the crypto space, we're seeing a nice green bounce to the upside. Bitcoin at about $70,500, up approximately 2%. Ethereum holding steady at about 3,800, waiting for its turn, while BNB is running to the upside, up approximately 7%. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and I want to talk about one project that is, of course, within a retracement and looking for that bounce to the upside, and that project is called Mintlayer. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the general market. We can see that we're seeing Bitcoin do well. It's doing very, very well. It's up 2.2%. We have Ethereum kind of going sideways still. I believe that it's potentially waiting for its turn to see some of the money flow. However, look at BNB showing a lot of strength today, up 7%. Could be a CZ thing? Could this be tied with CZ beginning his sentencing? It could be very possible. However, we do also see Solana doing okay, up 2%, give or take. And we see a lot of other projects getting a nice green bounce to the upside. Altcoin, and we can see Cardano waking up ever so slightly. Now, I know it's only up 1.6%, but it's the structure that's most important. If it does break out of previous highs, it's very likely that individuals are going to start looking at this as a potential, reversal, or maybe even a cup and handle in the works. It could be very possible. So let's pay attention not only to price action, but structure of the price action. We want to see that we're moving up, no doubt, but we want to see that we're breaking out of critical resistance areas so that we can see breakouts to key levels, to higher key levels, for sure. AVAX still looking like it's an opportunity, no doubt. And we think Bitcoin is looking strong today. Uniswap getting a fat bounce to the upside, 20% move, 20.7% to the upside. Guys, that's a really, really good catalyst right there for the Ethereum narrative. Now, if we do see Uniswap continue with the strength, I'm wondering what actually happened here. What caused the Uniswap to get this spike? Because as of now, that is super bullish. Near protocol still within range, within structure, lower lows and lower highs, slightly maybe testing the previous highs up at that level, but still, we're looking for a major change of character within the structure before we can start celebrating to the upside. What else do we have? Sideways, a lot of sideways price action, and then you have Kaspa. Still grinding to the upside, slow and steadily in the last little while, up 6% for the day, which is super bullish. There is a lot of talk about, smart contracts coming into the Kaspa technology, which for me is super great. We want Kaspa not only to take its current technology to the next level, but to see the next wave of what it has to offer with regards to smart contracts. And then with that being said, we could see a new wave of meme coins and ecosystem growth and all of that good stuff for Kaspa. So obviously, guys, I'm bullish. When I see things like this happen, I'm bullish. And of course, guys, I caught the bottom here on the Kaspa retracement, and all of a sudden we're up over 25%. So good stuff here for Kaspa and the overall community. That community is powerful. Render getting a nice bounce, but all good, still kind of with range. We want to see it break above the previous highs, but generally speaking, you can see a lot of the price action is getting that rounded bottom look, right? Even H-bar, Filecoin making that higher high in the short term, maybe looking for another break of the previous highs up at this level, looking for that major breakout. So not bad. Stacks following the Bitcoin Ethereum the Bitcoin narrative, up 10.3%. A lot of good stuff here today. Great stuff. Optimism kind of going to the downside, and Sui going sideways. I believe Sui's gearing up and ready to go for another bounce. Not is going sideways after major impulsive moves to the upside. However, still up up 10%. If it breaks structure to the upside, guys, continuation, prepare, it's moving. VeChain, another one. Looks like that rounded bottom is in. It looks like it may be looking for another catalyst to the upside. Whatever happens here, just be prepared, because you can put stop losses underneath these bottoms and expect a bounce. Risk to reward ratio looks very healthy there for VeChain. VeChain is due, guys. VeChain has been cooking. It's ready to get that bounce, guys. Risk to reward is absolutely healthy, given the fact that we didn't see VeChain really make some big moves. Phantom looking great, making higher highs and higher lows in the short term, maybe continuing to break the previous highs. Guys, the market is looking good today, looking really good. A lot of sideways still. We didn't break major structure just yet. For example, Gala, we're looking for another higher high. Let's do it. Get another higher high and get that parabolic upturn in an altcoin season. And that's ultimately what we're waiting for, guys. Patiently waiting for an altcoin season, because that's where the real magic happens with these altcoins. What else do we have? Ortiz looking pretty strong, 16.4% to the upside. We have Brett still looking good, another 11.8. The Bitcoin narrative showing a lot of strength here in the last little while. But generally speaking, guys, we want to see the rotation of the capital, kind of get into some of these altcoins so we can see that altcoin season. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's begin by looking at Bitcoin. What's going on here with Bitcoin? Everything is going on here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing great. Number one, respecting the TA, and number two, bullish. So what else can we ask for? A breakout, maybe about to come. So let's prepare, guys, because Bitcoin right now is pushing the previous highs, and maybe a short squeeze is in effect very soon, and we can see a nice expansion to the upside. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. Just a quick update, because honestly, nothing has been changing. We are still within structure, multiple structures. This big structure, bull flag, huge. Beautiful, nice bottom. We caught the bottom accurately and very comfortably. Then all of a sudden we got the impulse, and we're catching another short-term bottom that is looking like a cup and handle. And guys, we've been talking about this way back. We're front running all of this. We're staying one step ahead of the market, of course, and we're prepared for all the moves in this market. And as of now, I am preparing myself for a potential breakout for Bitcoin. As long as we remain above $67,000, there's no reason for me to be bearish, and I've been saying this for weeks. There's no reason for me to be bearish as long as Bitcoin continues in this trajectory. We have volatility pushing to the upside. We finally got a green dot here on the daily, which is going to start to give me confluence and confidence that we're going to get that expansion to the upside. Look at the green dots. Look at the green expansions. As soon as we get into this phase of things, look what happens, guys. If you're interested in this indicator, join the Discord. I have a whole channel ready to go to explain what this indicator is about and how you can get access to it. Momentum, also trend looking really good. EMA cross to the upside, short-term dip for a continuation to the upside in the bullish control zone. We see a nice purple expansion, a little bit of a blue expansion like we've done in the past, but it seems like it's going to be short-lived. Maybe something like this, guys. Maybe something like this. Short-term dip, continuation, major expansion to the upside. So looking good here for Bitcoin. Ultimately, Bitcoin is looking good. Ethereum needs to show a little bit more strength in the next little while, but I feel like it's gearing up for its own little bull flag that it's potentially getting into, so that could be a good bullish move for Ethereum as well. Obviously tonight, guys, join me tonight at 7:30 Eastern. We'll talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, and more importantly, I'll be taking requests. I'll be taking requests from the community. If there are any projects you want me to take a look at, that is a great time and place to make those requests, and I'll put them in top priority. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's take a look at today's video, today's project. I want to take a look at Mintlayer for a bit here, guys, because Mintlayer, at the end of the day, a lot of people are looking at it, including myself. Guys, I did a deep dive on the project. I like what the project has to offer. It is a decent project, right? It's basically let's call it a layer 2 of Bitcoin, right? Bringing in Bitcoin technology and ultimately adding smart contracts to it. So that Bitcoin narrative, no doubt. But guess what? Mintlayer is not pumping based on this Bitcoin narrative. We've seen stacks do well. Bitcoin's doing well. All the other Bitcoin related projects today are doing very well, but Mintlayer is still kind of lingering at this level below the 200 daily EMA. And I know it's super bearish. It looks really bearish, but guys, this is where the fear starts to kick in. And this is where, there's a lot of blood on the streets. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And this is where you could potentially be buying in at a very low level, a very good risk to reward ratio opportunity. However, guys, there's only one thing that I need to say is price action is king. Right now, there's no clear sign signs of a change of character in this price action. We did kind of get one a little bit earlier on. We made a slightly higher high right into here. Let's focus on price action here for a second. We made a slightly higher high here, and then we came down to make a slightly lower low. So not really a good look here. Disrespecting TA, which is fine, right? We prepare for that. We understand that. We get it. However, if you can see this overall diagonal, it's a trend. The trend is still to the downside, and it's very likely that we eventually start proving to the market that we eventually are looking for that pivot. That pivot is a change of character. We want a higher high and then a higher low. And then we start saying, you know what, maybe there's a new trend here coming in, higher highs and higher lows, and then we start moving upwards. But until then, we have to assume that we're making lower lows and lower highs, and the trend is our friend. But let's rearrange this so that we can make a little bit more sense of this descending type of wedge. Okay, as we get closer to the apex of this wedge, we are also approaching a good level of horizontal support, which is this previous high right here. This high has a bit of a volume gap in it. You can see the price action looking left, and then compare it with the volume profile looking at the right. You can see there's an empty gap right in here that could act as support when we get to that level. Just understand that wedges, bearish wedges like this that look bearish, eventually should resolve as a bullish move to the upside, which means that eventually we should be looking for a bullish target and a break out of this descending wedge. These descending wedges, they're quite bullish. In fact, when they break, their target is the base of the wedge, which would take us right back to almost previous highs. I would say about 80 cents, this level right here. So a nice breakout. First, we need to break the trend, which is the top line right here, and then we start to break the trend, and then we need to come down and back test and start getting evidence of a change of character, a higher high or a higher low, and that would get us absolutely bullish. As of now, we are slowly trying to catch a falling knife bit by bit, but as soon as we get this confirmation low and we already made a higher high, then we start to say, well, if we break this high again, well, we confirm the new trend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So really what we want to do is, yes, maybe get in on the break of trend, then get in on a high, get in after the back test right into here, and then get in on the break of this high right around this level, which is a confirmation that we're potentially going to go for another higher high. And then when that happens, you look at your average cost. Your average cost should be right around here more or less, and obviously the ideal way to do it is to double down as we come down to the lower side of the thing, so that way you can get a better entry. But ultimately, this is what we're looking for, a change of character of the current structure, which has been lower lows and lower highs, and then all of a sudden what we want is a pivot that gives us higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so that's a change of character, what we're looking at here for what we're waiting for. As we kind of consolidate in this area, just keep in mind that the volume gap is slowly filling up. Right, it's not as weak as it used to be before. When this wasn't here, you could see that the price action went straight up, which means that ultimately straight up means that we're leaving a big volume gap below, and ultimately being able to fall through the volume gap and coming down to support levels. I still feel like at about 20 cents is very possible, guys, in the short term. Okay, I still feel like it's very possible. These green arrows, you know, they've been here for a while. Just understand that the reason why I feel that's possible is because of the previous high. And I feel like the bulls are going to say, you know what, might as well see what happens. We might as well get there. Now, it could be that the bulls might front run this. It could be that we start getting signals right now where we start breaking trend and we start making W's, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, Adam and Eve patterns, whatever it is, whatever we get into this level with bullish divergence, and then we start looking for that rounded bottom and potentially a nice recovery. But until then, until we do not make that structure, we have to understand that we have to be defensive. And if we break below this 19.6 cent mark, we're coming down for another dip, and it's likely we come down to about 6 cents, unfortunately. Okay, guys, so what I would be doing is putting Mintlayer on your watch list. This was a good level, of course. Broke below, stop yourself out. The next level was here. We broke below. If you wanted to stop yourself out, great. If not, DCA again down at these levels and anticipate a pivot, because this is how you do it, guys. You wait for those extreme zones and then you wait for the pivot. Now, all of a sudden, we start looking at volume. And what's interesting about the volume is this. Look at this volume into here. Let me get my pen back out. You could see the volume right into here is showing us, and let's get the oscillators going as well. You could see that the volume right into here is quite interesting. It is increasing as we get to this level. Okay, and we also have a spike of volume here on the volume profile, right into here. And if you kind of see, if I stretch this out a little bit, you can see that right into here, we're getting volume right into here. And also corresponding with this, you can see that this little spike, this little area is a lot of market participation. There's a lot of people getting in on this level. Now, are they selling? Are they buyers? Or are they sellers? At the end of the day, we have to anticipate that it could be also sellers. Doesn't have to be buyers, but at the point of control, at good horizontal support with signs of divergence happening at this level, I would say that the odds are that you are not exit liquidity and that you should be DCAing, right? You're not buying the tops, guys. This is a decent retracement. In fact, let's see what it is. Before I look at the momentum and the trend oscillators, let's go see what that is. If we look at the absolute bottom to the absolute top, you're looking at a 786 retracement. Right, we fell slightly below the golden pocket, which was confluent with the 200 daily. We get it, and that's why the 200 daily is rolling over just a little bit. But now at the 786, maybe 886, I doubt it, guys. I don't know if we're going to come down there. Obviously, nobody can tell you the future, but ultimately, this is the time where I feel that it's healthy to take risk because you're not buying tops. You're not exit liquidity. This was the time to take profit. Red arrows, take profit, guys. I let you guys know where you should be taking profit. Now, all of a sudden, this is where you should be taking a bit of risk and DCing and building that position, especially as you get those structures, like I mentioned, W formations, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, all of those kind of things with bullish divergence. Okay, so speaking of bullish divergence, let's see what's going on here with the oscillators. Guys, this is a custom oscillator. It's called Synergy Signal. If you're interested, join the Discord. There's a lot of information there on how you can get your hands on it, but it's been killing it. It's been doing so good trying to find these bottoms, and you can see that ultimately we're getting a massive signal here on the daily. Well, the expansions are getting smaller. As you see the price coming down, the strength of these expansions are getting smaller and smaller. This is class A bullish divergence on the expansions that we're getting, which means the weakness is kicking in here for the bears. And bit by bit, as they show weakness, we should see the bulls eventually pick themselves up and show some strength here and respond to the bearishness. And ultimately, this is why I'm saying this is a good time to take risk. Now, as the price is also coming down, we're seeing the momentum go sideways. You can see it's kind of going downwards. It's coming down, but as you can see right here at the end, this is a bit of divergence, right? The price action at this level is still coming down while the momentum is potentially looking for a higher low. Now, if that's the case, we go for a higher high and we see this as a potential pivot to the upside as volatility is also pivoting. Let me show you what I mean here, because we came from an extreme zone and bit by bit, we're slowly rounding to the upside, and so is this making a higher low. And of course, the expansion is also doing the same thing. So as we slowly create the perfect picture for a pivot with price action, we could also be doing the same thing with the momentum. This is a momentum indicator. This is a momentum indicator that takes in multiple indications and obviously finds synergy with all these indications and eventually gives you that indication that we should be getting into a bit of a bullish stance here. So I like the volatility down here, ready to go. Now, as far as that, let's look at the trend. The trend is still a bit confused. I'll admit that. We got to understand that right now it's kind of going sideways. We did get 2 drives of bullish divergence. However, no real major follow through just yet. And you can see the expansions to the downside are basically trying to invalidate the bullish divergences. But as long as we don't make a lower low in comparison to this low, guys, I feel like we could still be in that divergent phase of the trend looking for a pivot. And slow and steady, guys. We're not in the bullish control zone yet. We're battling slowly. As you can see, the EMAs are still trending to the upside bit by bit. You can see that still trending. And as soon as we get into the bullish control zone, guys, we are going to see the bigger shift in the trend and potentially get that pivot down at here at these lower levels. So we're a bit early here, but still I like to stay one step ahead of the market so that we can prepare and we can pay attention, put this on our watch list. As we get those confirmations, guys, I'm going to be releasing updates. Join the live streams because there is where I can give you updates on a daily basis. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.